Hello, everybody. I'm back from Vegas. Hello, hello, hello. Let's hear that motorcycle. Way to interrupt my intro, dude. Anyway, it's been a while. I've obviously been back for longer. It's not like I just got back yesterday, but we're here now. And we're gonna do some analysis of my games from Vegas. I'm not gonna lie, I have not really touched them since returning. I've kind of glanced through some of the VODs. I haven't watched all the VODs in full. I think that will be a pretty good goldmine of advice from my commentators. But it's hard to watch them be disappointed in me when I'm losing, so that's why I've kind of been putting it off. But, you know, you gotta face the music at some time. So here we are. Oh, also, I'm wearing my Vegas shirt just to represent. So, oh, also, I think this should work. Should work. I just posted today my vlog mini doc video thing from Vegas, and I worked pretty hard on it. So I'd appreciate if you guys want to check it out. It's if you enjoyed my 0 to 2000 video, I'm sure you will enjoy this one. Same vibe, same style, music, narration, the whole shebang. Lots of fun, like, tourist footage from Vegas. I played Blitz with a lot of creators while I was there, so there's some clips from that. More of those videos will probably be coming out on the main channel, and they will all be out in full on the VOD channel eventually. So yeah. If you didn't catch it, my final score was 3 out of 7. 2 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses. I gained like a stupid amount of points. I think I gained like 13 rating points, USCF points, which was kind of unfortunate because I was playing all higher rated players. I think all except one were at least 100 points higher than me. So it's tough, but we're gonna keep playing these classical tournaments. I hadn't played 90-minute chess in probably 2 years. So that made a difference. But yeah, it was a fun time. My main concern was that the stream went well, and I think it definitely did. I was really impressed with my commentators and how that all turned out. The organizers were like extremely helpful in getting me all set up there, since I never streamed my games before. So it was definitely a learning curve, but we got it done. I've also since appeared. Hi guys, I see you all in the chat. Thanks for joining. What was I gonna say? Oh, I made 2 podcast appearances stemming off meeting those creators in Vegas. So I was on Chess Journeys again for a like year and a half return episode. I think I did a lot better on this one, but you can be the judge because I don't actually listen to them because I can't handle hearing my voice for like an hour straight. And I also made an appearance on Perpetual Chess for about a, I don't know, 10-15 minute segment, which I did listen to that one. I was able to get through it. I think I did a pretty good job, so you should go check both of those out as well. But yeah, I think the best part was meeting a bunch of creators. It's pretty cool to like they're real people. Like you look at me and I'm like on the computer screen. I'm like a robot. Like I just exist in this little box. And that's how all these creators are. Like Kostya from Chess Dojo and Elena and like all these people, all the podcasters. And then you meet them in person, and first of all, you're like, wow, you're way taller than I am. And then the other thing is like, wow, you're actually a real person. It's pretty crazy. But I'm sure I'll get used to that as I meet more people. I'm just from small town North Dakota. I don't get to do that a lot. It's quite the experience. So my thought today was we'll keep it pretty chill. This is gonna be a pretty short stream. I have some family stuff going on behind the scenes, so I don't want to spend too much time on stream, and I honestly am not sure if I'm gonna stream next week. Things are kind of up in the air right now. But I thought we could just go over some of the games. Because like I said, I haven't really had a chance to look at them. And yeah, short stream classic. I know, I feel like I always say that. Streaming's not the main gig, okay? And we're not gonna play Blitz. I got my my highest score ever in, oh no! Oh please God, tell me. Okay, it's fine. I just clicked off the analysis page I had meticulously set up, but it's fine. I got to 2031 in Bullet the other day. So, swag. Alright, but that being said, we don't have a lot of time, so let us get started. Oh, I am gonna have to import that again. Dang it! Okay, please hold, please hold. Should only take a moment. I should probably go over a loss, as painful as that will be. But I am gonna look at the second game that I won, because I screwed up in that one too. But I ended up winning it, so like it's a happy ending. So this was round 3. But we'll just go to this key moment and then, I don't know, maybe we'll look at some other things too. An anonymous gifter gifted a tier 1 sub to J Mastermind. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh, the animation was so delayed. Why is it always like that? Wow, that's really generous. Thank you so much. Alright, let us go through this. Okay, I was white. So we had... Oh, it's because I'm clicked up there. I was trying to use my arrow keys. We had a London system, obviously. I had a comment on YouTube the other day that was like, Kamryn, thank you so much for teaching me the London system, but I noticed you don't play it anymore. And I was like, where did you notice that? Because like, what? I talk about it all the time. I'm addicted to the London. But he played this aggressive c5 line, which you can just meet with e3. If they take, you take, and it's, I mean, all of the like most challenging lines in the London involve this move at a certain point. Playing it early can lead to some trickier variations. But I've been working on this line where I build the pawn pyramid first, so I don't have to deal with any mainline shenanigans. It's still kind of the main line, but it's like a slightly different move order because you move this knight out first instead of this one. Not to like leak all my prep, but I mean you can't really prep against the London. Oh, but he also played this bishop move out, which means that this pawn's gonna be weak. I can't remember if that was a problem in this game. I don't think it really was. But the problem with him bringing this bishop out is that it's, the problem for me, it's really slicing into my position, so usually you want to trade that puppy off as soon as possible. Because it's like as annoying as this one is for them when they play this copycat variation. So yeah, I bring queen b3, going after that pawn, queen b6, and then I think this was theory. Can you tell I haven't looked at this game in 2 weeks? I'm pretty sure this was theory. Because then I go knight d4. Yeah, this is all correct. Because I do want to go after this and at the very least win the bishop pair. I believe if they take... like that, I go e takes, and then the bishop has to move. And then I can take the queen. and these doubled pawns aren't as good because they're more just like targets, but the evaluation's like equal. Is this the plan? What does Engine want? Engine wants bishop b5. Oh, is that the idea? Bishop b5 check. And then they... Oh, and then they have to go king f8? Why not just block? They still lose castling rights, I think is the idea. I need to review this line. I think either... I mean, you can see over here, it's just like everything's just equal. Like a slight edge for white, but everything is. If they trade queens first before moving the bishop back, good question. Like here. I think you take with the knight, because I think... oh no, it does want a takes. I probably would have taken with the knight. Because this knight does not seem like it's in a very active position. But I guess the idea is this, and then they have to move. And then you have like this, maybe? Bishop b5 check again. Wait, what did I... Oh. Oh. Ford Crown Vic, thank you so much for the raid. Nice to see you. Hey, Thinker Teacher. Going well, we're just going over some games. I mean, yeah, you're still making them lose castling rights, I guess, and then you open up... I need to figure out these lines where I actually do want to capture with this pawn, because I had this issue from the black side as well, when they were playing a d4 opening, and Ian thought I should have brought my queen out and captured with the pawn when that was an option, because you open up your rook and it's like good tactically, I guess, and then you even push like b4 or, you know, b5 from the black side, and it's never really a problem. I'm gonna have to look at this. I think I could have sworn I was planning to take with the knight in that case, but anyway. This is not what happened though. Wait, what did happen? He went back. No. Yes. Okay, and then I did... Wait, no. What happened? Oh, he moved back here. This is what happened. Okay, so anyway, I played knight d4. Yeah, I do have a problem when you are simplifying this early in the game, because I do obviously think of an endgame, and obviously if you have double pawns in the endgame, it's usually not so good. So that's why I kind of try and stray away from those lines unless there's like a very clear way that I can win a pawn or like an exchange, because there are lines where you can do that, or just like make it annoying for your opponent. But anyway. He moves back. He doesn't want to lose the strong light squared bishop. And then oh, wait, I thought I took the queen. That is the best move. Queen takes b6. I messed up the move order. Mixed up. But I went knight f3. He castled, and then I took? Okay. This doesn't really matter, it's still all very equal. Oh, this was my whole idea. I jump in with the knight now, attacking this pawn and attacking the bishop, because I just really wanted to get rid of his bishop pair. Which he said he was fine with, and Ian also said he should be fine with. Because he was able to just push the c-pawn. And like these doubled pawns don't really net him much, or net me much. And then what I realized here is that my problem is going to be he's going to shut down my light squared bishop. So I believe I did play this move. I was considering something like this or this to go after like that. There are situations, and I've had this in a classical game, where you can force you can basically force a draw by chasing these rooks around, and if they don't want to lose an exchange, they just have to repeat. I don't think it would work in this particular case. I can't remember. But my thought was he's either going to play this move or this move. So I'm either going to get my bishop, like, completely stuck, or I'm going to lose my bishop. Which I guess in this case I can maybe just go here, but I thought he had this. No, it's not quite. So anyway, I figured it was best to hold on to the dark squared bishop and then get my light squared bishop out some other way. Because my main weakness in this position is the b2 pawn. And so if I can leave my dark squared bishop to cover that square where the rook wants to go to attack my b2 pawn, especially after he pushes this, you see my idea. I figured keeping this bishop was a better idea and then just get my light square bishop out later, which is why I pushed the h-pawn. And he did play the other move I was anticipating. And then I did this nice little bishop maneuver. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, come on. This is what chess is all about, baby. And then I was like, well, if he jumps in here, then I just take it and win a pawn. Boom. a5. The eval went down a little bit. Oh, but it did want a5. Rook fc8. I mean, sure. I was always anticipating things like this, where he tries to just push in the center and break it, but he needs... The problem with this pawn, of course, is that if he pushes the f-pawn, then I... Well, okay, not like that, but I eat that pawn. So he needs to defend it somehow. Hence why I thought the doubled pawns were good for me. But this is slightly in black's favor, but like... We're like 1600, it doesn't matter. Wait, why does it say I'm 1690? I'm not 16... Was he 1690? That's not right. He must have been 16. There's no way. Was he really? Hold on. I'm just curious now. Find this. Yeah, my rating is now 1526. It's it was at 1512. Sorry, I have to scroll through all this stuff. I'm not looking at chat. He was... Wait, he was 1614. I don't know where they're getting 1690. I think I played another guy who was 1690, but I didn't think it was this one. Anyhow. I don't know what is happening in the chat right now. I don't care enough. You're timed out for caps? I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, anyway. Where were we? I wasn't even gonna go through this game that deep. Oh, this pawn push. I thought a long time about this pawn push. Pawn pushes in chess are very committal. But I think this was like the only time I could have made this. And my depth is 20. How is it? I don't want to crank it too much because it might affect the stream. Maybe one of these? Try that. It still says depth is 20. 20 seconds? I don't understand how this works. I don't get it. It's fine. We don't need to listen that closely to the engine. It's all the same. It's all equal. But anyway, pushing b3. He did move a rook in. I guess he wanted, like... I don't know why there. I don't really understand that. Okay, but this was bad. I should have just captured here first. I think my idea with this was that, like, okay, imagine he does nothing. I take, which opens up the threat on the bishop, and then I get to take again after the bishop moves. Obviously, he's not going to allow that, but I have the initiative and he has to figure out what to do. He basically has to protect that bishop or capture the pawn, which is what he did. Yeah, I don't know what's... I'm just gonna ignore you guys. So okay, this was like a key moment, I'm pretty sure. I do not remember this phase of the game, like, at all. It was stressful, I know that. I'm pretty sure I just took because if I push here, which was, like, basically my other option, it just gives him... Like, he's, like, 3 scores away from promoting, and this pawn is pretty well defended. I get... Well, okay, it's attacking... Wait, maybe this was better. It's attacking this. He has to move. Knight b3 at once. Wait, really? Oh, because you can't take because you get this. But I still could have just taken, no? Okay, it's not great, but it's not horrible. Wow, a move like g5. It's only +1 for white. I'm up an entire piece, and he's just given me another pawn. I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole because like, why? Nobody's gonna ever play that ever. But imagine he takes back. Like, I probably would have just gone here. The problem now is this pawn's really weak. And now black's just better. Even though I'll probably win that pawn. Okay, 2 check. He wins this pawn. So I have to go back. Nope, even worse somehow. C8. Oh my god. Okay, good thing I didn't go down this line because I don't know if I would have seen this. Hopefully I would have in a classical game, but I also sacrificed a rook for a pawn later, so you never know. We will go over that horrible game. Okay, but this didn't happen. What happened? I took the pawn. He captures. And now I thought I was in a bit of a pickle because this pawn is attacked. It's extremely weak. And if I take here and he takes, this is not actually free because again he has this tactic with check and winning my rook. So even if I take this and he takes, then I still have to go, like, I don't know, like, what's my best option here? Yeah, just move the king. Could I castle? King d2, king e2, bishop e5. What happens if I just castle? It's probably just bringing my king too far away. Because once you're down to this few pieces on the board, like, it's basically the endgame. You might as well, like, use your king in the endgame like you're supposed to. Yeah, the rooks were such an issue. Like, in the games I won and the games I lost, like, it was such a, they were being so dramatic. And for what? So what I did instead, what else was I worried about here? Like, why not just this? King d2, best move. Bishop c5? I think I was thinking of this. Oh. Bishop takes... Wait, what? Oh, because it's blocking the... Oh, I'm dumb. Wait, I think I literally... This was literally the line I was calculating that caused me to sacrifice my rook. And he just never would have played it because then I'd get the knight. So what would have he actually played? Okay, what about like this? No, still. Okay, God damn it. This. It's still bad. Oh, because then I actually get to do this. So he has to... Okay. I understand. The position... Imagine this, chat. The position changes every single move you make. So I've moved my king out of the danger, and now he has problems. And this pawn is fine. So they want bishop c5. And then, I don't know, they want rook a1. Wow. And he just has to move. I mean, frankly, I would be happy to just trade rooks here, I think. No, I wouldn't. Bishop b3? Wow, okay. Because you're essentially trapping his knight. So you trade on your own terms. If he takes, you keep that open file, but at least you're still fighting for it. And then his, you're going to go after the knight with your king. And then if he ever moves, you just grab it. Because his knight is much stronger at this point than my bishop. And then hopefully with the same colored bishops, you have a more likely chance to actually win. Very interesting. Okay, but in the game, this is where things went a little south. Oh, I spoiled it. Back to this position. I sacrificed my rook because I thought after knight takes, I have this move, forking the knight and the rook. If he, moves, like here, for example. This is still bad? Oh, because he still has that same tactic. So my idea was, okay, I get the bishop pair for a rook. But you'll see the bar does not necessarily agree with that because you have this check, and this can occur in a variety of move orders. But obviously you can't move because this guy, so you have to block, which I saw this. And I even saw this. But I knew I had, I could move my king and I was fine. What I didn't see was in this position, this move. And then this. And I would have lost. So that's why that was bad. But that was a, I mean, he probably should have seen it. Because you look for your checks. Even in this position, you give check. But I think he still wasn't looking all the way down because you see this and then you're like, well, things are still hanging. And now if I move my rook to defend my knight, I'm losing the rook. and you don't see that, okay, you don't defend the knight, you go here, and then you take, and then you win. That's hard to see. So hard, in fact, that he didn't see it. He played rook b8. And I got away with it. So, if a blunder falls in the forest, you know? So, I obviously took the rook. And now everything's fine. And in fact, because of... Gosh, I wonder if the opponents ever, like, find these and watch them. I could tell he was a little shook from his body language. I'll just say that. Because before, like, at this point, you can probably watch back on the VOD. Like, here, he was chill. He was, like, leaning back in his chair. He was like, I'm gonna win this pawn. Or at the very least, like, I'm gonna trick her into something like this. You know? And then I sacked my rook and he was just, like, absolutely shook. So, yeah, psychology makes a difference. Alright, I moved my king in. I felt really great at this point. I was like, I know I've got this weak pawn, but my bishop surely overpowers this knight. My king is more active. It is the endgame. I basically forced the trade of rooks, which... I don't know why he played this move. He kind of explained it afterwards, but I still didn't really get it. I guess the idea is like if I go here, this is bad. Because of knight e5 check. Oh yeah, they explained this. And then it's just a repetition, I guess. Which I don't know if that's what he wanted. But the problem is I just took the rook when he brought it down. I just capture. And now this move I think was really nice. Not to like... I played a really nice move here. But like I'm trapping his knight. And my idea is I want to walk over and win it. And he has no way to defend it. So eventually he's going to have to drop back here. And then I take it and my king is just much closer to winning this pawn. And like at this point you don't even really need to calculate that far. You just need to like conceptually understand that like, okay, my king is just like way closer, like in the vicinity of this pawn. And his king is just not fast enough, and he has double pawns. So the rest of the game we can just play it out fairly quickly. I guess I could have just gone around like that. I don't know what kind of ghosts I was seeing that I didn't even really consider that. Yeah, it just kind of... It was a matter of maneuvering the king correctly at this point. Because now I just have enough moves to induce Zugzwang. He has to move back. These are covered. So I just make one pawn move and like he can do this. But then I'm getting in here. And then I have this passer. So at this point it was pretty easy. Oh, he did just resign here. Yeah. It's crazy to just like look at this without, I don't know, without much chess knowledge and be like, yeah, like white just won this game in this position. It's really funny. I do like that Tal quote, J Mastermind. Yeah, this tournament was definitely very weirdly psychological. And some of my opponents were more, like, you know, wore their heart on their sleeve more than others. But if we want to look at a game that I lost, which I think we do. I just want a chance to explain myself in this game. Because I made another horrible rook sacrifice that, like, I don't think I should have made, like, 2 years ago. It was, like, embarrassing. So let's take a look at this loss. This loss, by the way, that I almost came back and drew down an entire piece, but I missed a check. I think this was actually the guy that was 1690. I think. Or maybe it was the guy that I drew with. Was it Jeff Andrew? It was one of the older guys. Sorry, guys. Oh, also, I played black. The fact, by the way, that I got basically the same opening twice in this tournament, I was furious. I was like, who prepares for whatever this is? But I brought out my bishop because I have horror stories of getting that bishop trapped, which came from like 2 rounds earlier. Basically playing a reverse London here, which is nice. He did capture here. I know this move is always kind of an issue, so you need to castle, which I did. I think that was more a problem in the second game where I got this opening. I'll have to look into that. E4 was always like a threat, and I don't think I was super aware of it in the actual game. But him trading off this pawn in the opening felt really nice for me. Just because I don't like pawn tension, so boom. It is also nice, like, okay, a little hint. If you're playing somebody over the age of, you know what? I'm not even gonna say it. If you're playing somebody who's not Gen Z, a lot of times they will have been brought up in a more classical way of playing chess, and they won't go for crazy offbeat openings. They will play very, like, solid chess, meaning they get their pieces out, like, development, you feel like they're playing for a draw in many ways, especially in the opening. So for example, the reason that I didn't play h6 earlier to save this bishop was, first of all, because, like, I had ideas of this, like trading off the light squared bishop, but also, like, a lot of times the idea of hiding that bishop away with the move like h6, like giving it a little pocket to go if that knight ever comes after it. I just had a feeling that my opponent was not going to play that move because that's not, like, opening principles. Like, you develop your pieces before you move any of them twice. And that, I will say, is a rule that the more classically trained players will not. And listen, I'm not trying to, like, call anybody old here. I'm more saying, like, if you learned how to play more than 3 years ago like I did, or, like, I swear to God, like, everybody online did. Because you see this kind of stuff on move, like, you know, 5 all the time when you're playing Rapid on chess.com. You're rarely going to see it over the board unless you're playing a young person. Alright, 37 going on 70. I never called anybody old. It's so much funnier if you guys remember the stream and, like, who this particular opponent was. By the way, all the opponents, extremely nice. Like, my, I think, 6th round opponent, after the game, this was so sweet. He was like, he asked me, like how many subscribers I had, and I was like, I told it like, oh, I'm like at about whatever it was, like 24,000, and he's like, well, now you have 24,001. It's like, that's so nice. He was like an older guy too. They were all very, very nice, very like willing to be on camera. Like, obviously, I'm not a well-known chess streamer. Like, it's not like I'm Botez up there. So they were very much like, you know, who are you? Like, where can I find your stream? Which was very sweet. Yeah, the guy that reviewed the game with me, that was the game we just reviewed. Marcel, I believe. He was also very nice. They all were. They were all great sports. I know it was really difficult. I think they found out like literally when they got to the table. I think there was an arbiter standing there and was like, "Hey, you're playing up on the streamer board by all the grandmasters and international masters with this random 1500 girl." So I think that was a little bit overwhelming for some of them, but you know, we were supposed to ask if they all wanted to be on camera, and they were all fine with it, which I really appreciated. So again, all of them very great sports. Most of them like relatively like chatty and stuff. So it was really nice. I was really glad I didn't get paired with kids, except that last round. We're not going to talk about the last round. He wasn't really a kid, but he was probably the youngest one I played. Anyway, let's finish. Oh, wait, what did I do? Let's finish looking at this game. Where were we? Bang, bang, bang. Okay, yes. Grabbing that e-file. So he's developing his pieces, I'm developing my pieces. Okay, and he does go for this move. So maybe I should have played H... They want H4... No. Not H4. They want H6... Maybe it wasn't here. Maybe it was a bit earlier. Never mind, I'm not seeing it anywhere. Okay, there it is. H3. For white. Not even for me. H3, H6. That's what they want. Okay, but the idea of bishop F... or G4 is if he pushes this pawn, he's weakening his, or like cutting off his bishop a little bit. So his bishop is kind of reduced in its, reduced in its power. Whippersnappers. Hello? Oh, I'm trying to use the arrows on a line that does not exist. Yeah, so then my idea is just drop back. And then, like, this is a threat, weirdly enough. So he has to play here. And then I can just come back this way, which is really funny. And then this pawn becomes very weak. So yeah, that was my idea with bishop g4. But he just brought the knight back. And then did I play... I still didn't play it. That's crazy. So I just wanted to trade off. I really... For some reason, the way this guy was playing, I just wanted a quick draw, I guess. I think I just didn't really want to deal with his bishop pair. He attacks my rook, I move it. Oh, they want me to take this. I don't know if I would have ever taken this. I know my bishop isn't great, but his seems like, going back to psychologically, he wants to keep this bishop around. Like, that's the whole idea of this opening. And I would rather, like, trade it off. That's what I want to do. Which I think I tried to do later. So I just moved my rook. This is also still fine. You can see everything is a draw. Which even at this point, I was like, yeah, it's just a draw. Okay, he moves his rook in. I'm like, okay, hold on, cowgirls. We're looking at, okay, not that move. Pawns can move 2 squares, Kamryn. We're looking at stuff like this, which is fine. Yep, I moved my queen up, going for the Ooga Booga plan. Which, by the way, he might have moved his rook so that when I do this, he can just drop back. I see that sometimes. I genuinely can't remember how this game went. Oh, I did play this. Okay, yeah, h6 now to prevent his knight from coming to g5. Take it was the move because the trade with queen d7, bishop h3 is too slow. Oh, because they wanted him to play e5 faster. But I figured after e5, like back in this, where was it? Here. Like takes. I don't know, like this move? Maybe this would have been stronger. But like, okay, imagine it's my move again. Okay, whatever, he does this. Like this and this. And then he plays what, queen D, or yeah, queen d2? Like what do I do? Stage 5? Like, okay, I've got this battery, but he leaves this here, and what I probably need to do is like that and kick him back, maybe? But I don't think I ever win that pawn. I don't think that ever happens. Like, he can even just play here. So I didn't see a clear plan forward here, just to explain why I didn't go for this. Why I would rather get rid of his bishop. The plan is easier. Let's see, what actually happened was this. And then that. Because I can still double my rooks. I can still even bring the queen in at some point. And then his knight is easier restricted. And my plan still feels pretty clear, like even trading this off. I think I was planning things like this. And then like even like stuff like that. Just like maneuvering the queen over to the side of the board. That was kind of the idea. Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. This plan just seemed more familiar to me, which is why I played it. But I didn't want to trade the bishops off now. Okay, I'm still giving him the option, because obviously if he takes, I want to take like that, but I don't necessarily need his king coming any closer. Oh, there was moments where I thought I was going to trap his queen, like here. Yeah, so my idea is I'm going after this pawn, right? And if he, what was the idea? If he defends it or if he pushes it. Oh, it's so fuzzy to me now. There was something with like this. I think if he pushed it, then obviously I have this. But if he defended with, I didn't see bishop f1. That's wild. What about this? There was so many ways to trap his queen. I think I was thinking like one of these. Oh yeah, I remember. He takes, and then I still have this. So I was planning. Wait, this is crazy. This is still like basically equal. 95. Giving this escape square. They want this. And I'm up a pawn. But the queen isn't trapped. This move I did not calculate. That's a wild one. But he saw this and played what I considered to be the only move, which was, wait, not this, which was this, to defend this pawn, but also I can no longer, like, I can't sack because he takes with the queen and then this doesn't work. So that was my brilliant move, it wasn't a move, my brilliant plan that didn't actually get executed. Because he found what in my head was the only move, but now the engine is telling me there were many moves for him to only lose a pawn. Of course, he's also attacking my a pawn, so I moved it. And then he tries to double on the c file. And I go back. I think at this point I was already pretty much resigned to it being a draw. It did not turn out to be a draw, by the way, because I got crazy with it. Do I take here? Yep. This just seems like an active square for my queen. He obviously can't do this because I take, but he does need to defend that pawn. Moving the rook back, or the queen back. I'm so obsessed with rooks. It's insane. I offer the queen trade. Oh, he does take it. For some reason, I thought queens were still on the board when this disaster happened. I was, as you can see, I was down like 20 minutes almost on time. I moved my knight back. I think my idea was to like reroute like this, because I was looking at his ideas with like a minority attack. Also things like this, which I know doesn't work at the moment, but just, you know, general ideas for piece placement. He does start the minority attack. I moved my king because why did I do that? There's something with the knight coming in. Oh, I wanted to kick his knight out. Right. I want to play this, but then he has this. Attacking my rook. So to prevent his knight from getting closer, I just defend that square with my king, so then when I push pawn, you get the idea. Oh hey, you're somebody I met at the tournament, that's awesome. Nice to see you too. I met so many cool people there. It was really crazy to see. There's so many people there, oh my goodness. It was wild. The biggest tournament I'd been to, like, I think the total registration was around the same number as the number that was in my section at Vegas. It was like 150 or something. So yeah, it was wild. Anyway, okay, so this happened. I'm just trying to kind of shuffle along to the point of no return. This is all equal. Everything's fine. We're all great. I dropped my knight back for some reason to cover the square because who knows why. I think the idea was like that. No, I don't remember why I did this. Oh, because I didn't want to trade knights. Why didn't I want to trade knights? It's a draw anyway. Why not just take? Rook takes, and then... It's saying slight edge for white, but like why? Who knows? Who knows why? You probably still just go for this? I don't really know. I'm pretty sure I was looking at this in the game and, I mean, clearly I decided taking was less than optimal. But knight d6, okay, knight d6 according to engine, only drawing move. Everything else is pretty equal though. This is so tragic. It was such a good game up until this point. So okay, here's the problem. This is a moment. I sat for a long time on this move. I had 23 minutes on the clock. And looking at this now, if I were to give this to you as a puzzle, I think you would pretty clearly see, okay, these rooks, 2 of them are aiming at this knight. It's only defended once. If I can get this pawn out of the way, I will win that knight. So this is the move that Ian showed me, and this is the winning move. I mean, it's winning a pawn. You sack your knight, and then you're essentially forcing the game down to rooks, and you're up a pawn, and you're just happy about that. But instead I played the brilliant blunder. Rook takes e3. And here's my reasoning, okay? I got tunnel visioned, and I forgot that my opponent had a move. It was... I swear I looked at this... I mean, it says 5 minutes, but I was looking at this before. I probably spent close to 10 minutes on this, on like finding this sequence. And I was thinking about this for a while. So, okay. I take, right? He takes. I check, and here's what I missed. The king gets a move. And the king can move onto the F file. If, let's imagine, the king doesn't move, I will take. He will take. I bring my rook up, I check, I fork the king and the knight. I'm up 2 pawns. Easy peasy. But chess doesn't work like that. And so after this, it was like, I think I sacked the rook, and then it took me like about 30 seconds, and then I was like in slow motion, I was like, oh no. And then I realized what I had done. And I think this was especially bad because it was coming off, yeah, it was right after that last game where I had won it, but I had screwed up that other rook sacrifice. Also, the second round game, somebody sacked their rook against me and won. So yeah, this entire tournament, the theme was just sacrificing rooks, and it worked for my opponents, and it did not work for me. I guess it technically worked for me because my opponent missed in the second or the third game. But anyway, yeah, it was pretty wild. So yeah, this was my horrible blunder. I think back to this and I'm like, I don't think I even considered this move, which is crazy. Like, I don't know. And this is why I'm not gaining rating very fast, because I have some inconsistencies in my play. Sometimes I play super well and I find great, winning tactics. I think I'm pretty good at like longer strategical games. But then sometimes I get my mind set on these like horrible sacrifices that I miscalculate, and then I lose. So if I can like up my level of calculation to my level of like whatever, more strategic thinking, which admittedly sometimes also bad at that. There's lots of things to improve. But I think I will become a stronger player, and I definitely learned that from this tournament. So, you know what? We all gotta be humbled sometimes. I made the sacrifice live on the air, and it was something I don't think I will ever do again. I think I vowed after this round that I will never sacrifice a rook again, but I just know that's not true. But anyway, so I'm down a piece after all these exchanges happen. Okay, I've been studying some endgames, and I know that there are cases where you can get a draw as the like losing side when you're down just a knight. Obviously, at this point, it's a little too early to tell, but I figured, okay, if we're gonna trade off rooks, that probably gives me a slightly better chance because I can get these, or get a passed pawn out of the deal. So I'll just kind of walk you through how the ending goes. This was bad, apparently. I'm gonna have to look into why. King f6. So he had ideas of like that. It's just so tricky, bro. King f6, knight c4. King e6. What if this? King d5, you just let him take it, because why not? Oh, then you played this. Okay. It's still obviously much better for white, but... And then your idea is like there. Yeah, I guess. I was looking at that kind of thing. It didn't seem that promising. But in the actual game, I ended up... Okay, playing this, and then he essentially blocked himself in. So now I have the chance to run with my king. He reroutes his knight. This is still bad, by the way. I have to give up my center pawn, and now my pawns on H and G are locked. That's why playing open games helps. I should probably... one thing I learned about this tournament is I do need to fix some of my openings. I had a really good opening in my last round where it was a more tactical game at the beginning, but I got too confident and I screwed that one up too, so you never know. But here I didn't have much of a choice. So okay, this move. By the way, here, I think he can just do this. I don't see why this does not work. Yeah, it's totally winning. Because he essentially, he forces my king to run down here and like hold on to this pawn. And then at the last second, he's like, see ya. And then he goes over and goes after these pawns. And I'm just not in time. He doesn't even need his knight. But he let me get, to this position. Mate in 21, by the way. So, okay, I have two threats. I have two pawns that I want to promote. And he let me promote. I got a queen. This was a huge accomplishment, even though I'm obviously still insanely lost. I got a queen, which gives a little bit of hope. I think I kept finding chances for him that he was not finding. Like, I mean, frankly, here he could have just taken my pawn, I'm pretty sure. Or even just played knight d5. Like, who gives a flying flip about this guy? You just keep your queen on the g file. You run this one forward. Like, you block all the checks. I can never check here because of this knight, if your knight stays there. I had 2 minutes, by the way. Okay, he gives the check. Everything's losing. Extremely losing. He gives check again. I thought he might repeat here. I was like, imagine? That'd be crazy. But then he played King d7. And suddenly it literally is a draw. And here's what my commentator told me. I have to play this move. Here's what, okay, what I did in the game was really stupid. I just went here. Obviously, I had less than a minute left on the clock. I was like, go after the knight, win the knight. But I missed the check. So that's another thing I need to keep an eye out for when I'm on the defensive. Is you always have to look for your opponent's checks too. And obviously this just, this would speed up the process. And then he, you know, he promotes and my pawn never gets through because he still has a knight. So forcing the queen trade is what he did, and then I resigned. I played here, he played this, and then I turned off the clock. Actually, I think I let time run out. Yeah. But I mean, obviously I just lost. But okay, the drawing sequence is this move. Okay, I was imagining he goes here, and then I have to play Queen H8. He plays King D7. I have to stay on the dark squares. No. Oh no, this still works. Everything is a draw now. Because I think the idea is if he ever goes up here, then I have this check. Winning... I wonder if I even take the knight, though. Like, I probably just do this. And he just doesn't have an escape. Jade, imagine he goes here, and then I still have this move I think is important. So it's still tricky. But I think if I... Like, even just to build up time is what I said in the post game. I should have just given this check for that reason alone. Like, if I'm gonna, you know, do the deed and play it out, I might as well just give the check. And just see what happens, you know? It's the only check. I can't play this check because the same dealio happens. He blocks and it's a check on my king and then I lose. So yeah, this was a rough one. There were two big misses, which was the horrible, embarrassing even rook sacrifice. And then the missed check for a draw here at the end. This would have been my... No, it wouldn't have been my highest rated draw. In the tournament it would have been, but... I mean, surely I've drawn somebody higher than 1690 before. I'm pretty sure. Somebody can do the checks on that. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this game. It's been about an hour, guys. I did get through the two that I did want to get through. Maybe next time we can... Well, I don't know. I'm possibly playing another tournament at the beginning of July. Will not be streaming that one, but we might have some more game content that'll be a little more applicable. Yeah, I still have a lot to learn, obviously. I hope this encourages you that, like, especially over the board chess, it's freaking hard, dude. It's really hard. And you can sit there and it's so difficult to spend like 3-4 hours with a game only to walk away with a loss, especially when you had chances. That is like extremely taxing mentally. So I think just like acknowledging that is so important when you're starting to play over the board. Because I think just like knowing that that's a thing can help you overcome it, at least in my experience. Because I drew my next game after this. It wasn't a perfect game, but I didn't go on a losing streak. I think that was really important for me. But yeah, we keep grinding. And I still consider the tournament a success, even though I had these horrible moves. Because the stream went really well. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Excuse me. But before I say goodbye, ooh, don't lose a pawn. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Have a night. Less than optimal. I still have a knight though. Oh my god. It's a beautiful game. Beautiful game of chess! It's a beautiful game of chess. Seven pawns. Insane. If he had more time, I wish he would have let me play it out. Alright, that's all I needed. Just had to get that little fix, you know? Okay, everybody. Okay, let's... Who should we raid? Oh, there's so many great people live. Okay, here's the thing. I was actually gonna be selfish and raid my YouTube video, so I'm gonna give you a choice. You can go watch my YouTube video, or you can wait another like 30 seconds and we'll actually raid somebody on Twitch. But if you stuck around for the game review, appreciate you. Like I said, not 100% sure if I'll be live next week. There's a lot of stuff going on in my personal life right now. But there will still be weekly YouTube videos coming out, so definitely keep an eye on that. And this one I am especially proud of because it's my entire like Vegas recap. It's basically in the same style as my 0 to 2000 video. Did a lot of fun like editing shenanigans on it, so go check it out. Let's raid, who should we raid? Let's raid Elena. Will everybody stream in 2 weeks? We'll see. Everything's really up in the air right now. I do have, like I said, I have a stream. Okay, let me just look at the calendar. Maybe I will just stream next week. Definitely not a stream first week of July. Well, maybe. If I end up going to that tournament, probably not. So we'll see. I'll try my best to get one in the next 2 weeks, though. But if you watch the tournament, the gal sitting next to me, Elena, she's a fellow streamer. She's actually way bigger than me, so I can't even pretend you guys don't know her. Raid. But she was super nice. I was like, girl, I am so scared that the stream's not gonna go well or that I'm gonna be like thinking about it the whole time. And she was like, you will get used to it, like, do not worry about it. She was super nice. It was nice to have another chess gal up there with me, so we definitely became fast friends. Did I spell it right? I think I did. So go check her out. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for the subs we got today. Appreciate it. I also got subs when I was offline. I saw those. I do appreciate those as well. Kept expecting us to get paired. Yeah, we were in different sections. I think she played under 1500, but she's pretty high on chess.com too. I think she's like 1800, so she had like 4 wins in a row. She was killing it. But anyway, all right guys. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you next time.